The time has come. Direchasm is here. Find out what's in the box. Hello AOS fans! Yes, it's Robin here, and it's Direchasm pre-order day, or is if you're watching it just after this video comes live. Yes, Direchasm is upon us. Before I carry on, I will just mention there will be 4 videos in this sequence there. So there's this little unboxing video, there'll be one video for looking at the Dread Pageant and their cards, another video for looking at my Armies Purifiers and their cards, and another video looking at the Universal cards. So if you don't want to see what's in the box, because it's fairly much the same as the other Beast Grey boxes, do jump over to one of those videos now. We've had to wait due to horrible COVID-19, which, to be honest, the delay of Warhammer Underworlds is not the worst thing about it, but we have had to wait. Normally we get these at the end of September. We've had to wait till the beginning of December. It's very cold in the garage, and of course Pete can't be with me because we're still in tier 2, so we can't mix, so I'm having to do this unboxing alone, which is a massive shame because it's much more fun doing them with Pete, but you'll just have to put up with me and only me. This video is kind of like an overview of the box. If you've never played Warhammer Underworlds before, do check out our other content. I'm not going to dig deep into the rules and what have you. I'm going to kind of assume a little bit of assumed knowledge that you've seen the other boxes before, so you kind of know what you're expecting. If you want to look at how Warhammer Underworlds works, then there should be a link up here to various videos that can show you on your way. I have to say there's nothing substantively changed in the rules of Direchasm that I can see. I'm not very good at passing text. I didn't see any massive rule changes. There are a couple of things which I will go over, but there's no massive rule changes. So everything is kind of as you were, which perhaps we were expecting now. The game is settling down. I think the early teething troubles are being ironed out. Oh, I can see my breath. Let's crack on then. So here's the Direchasm box. We've all seen the images on the internet, so we won't go over that. Of course, by the time this video goes out, the Games Workshop have almost certainly spoiled everything. I'm recording this on, what day is it today? I am recording this on Wednesday the 2nd of December. So I imagine Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there'll be lots of spoilers. So you'll see all this already. But we'll see. So inside the box, this was all cellophaned up. I've opened it up to have a look inside. We've got the rules, which I shall go over in a second. We have a couple of boards. There's nothing particularly significant about them. I'm not that tactically astute, so I don't know whether anything particularly better than the others. That one has a couple of lethal hexes on it. That one hasn't had any. And then this one, it has a 1 lethal hex in the middle, and then the only one that has blocked hexes is this one. There doesn't seem to be anything too horrendous in there. This one's got a couple of starting hexes next to each other, as has this one. It's got two sets of 2 next to each other. Can't see that, can you? 2 sets of 2 next to each other, and this one had 1 set of 2, and this one had 2 sets of 2. I really like the muted kind of sepia tones on the Beastgrave and the Direchasm boards, and they've kept that theme. Then we have in here, we have some tokens. Tokens are, you know, quite exciting, but many of us have been playing for a long time, don't really need any more glory, but we've got more glory and more guard tokens and more activation tokens, as you'd expect, and of course another set of objectives. Quite like the objective artwork on the boards, particularly the ones we're not going to use, particularly like number 8 is particularly nice. But we have objectives, well, there's more objectives here. We have objectives 1, 2, 4 there, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the last one. And we've got a scatter hex, and we've got 2 new green lethal hexes. They're quite nice. I'm not that enamoured by the reverse side. They're feature tokens, I should probably call them, rather than objective tokens. I'm not that enamoured with the artwork on those. They're alright. It doesn't look that lethal. And obviously you can still flip those. That rule is in there. It's still maintained, so you can still flip objectives, so you can still be able to feed that Beastgrave. The things of note for the tokens are that you've got 2 different colours for the tokens. So you've got a purple and white there, kind of gems there on the back of the wound tokens. Like they were for Beastgrave. The purple ones, I guess, are probably going to be the ether quartz, or maybe the white ones. I don't know, but there's also something in the game called hunger tokens, which I should come on to in a minute. It's not a core rule, but it's a rule on some of the cards. I shall come on to that in a second. And the other big one is this little token here. This big one is a little one. Yes, this little token here is the primacy token, and we've been wondering what that was online. We probably already know, because it's probably already told us by the time you're watching this, but if you haven't, I will explain it, what it is, in a second. We have a start here set of rules, which has everything you get in the box, which is kind of what I've just gone over, and the assembly instructions for your miniatures. They're all push fit again, so you shouldn't need any glue. We'll talk about this now. I'm quite intrigued. They're quite muted, but quite nice. These kind of black and white. It's not black, not white. It's kind of taupe, black and kind of taupe plastic for the miniatures, and it's interesting to say, probably worth commenting on. You've got 4 in each warband in this game. Now, there's been a mismatch in the past. It's been 3 and 5, I think, 3 and 7 in the case of Nightvolt, and Beastgrave was 6 and 5. I can't remember. Direchasm is 4 and 4, so a nice solid kind of equal matchup, which I think is interesting. I don't know whether they've obviously made a deliberate decision to do that. Why, I'm not sure, but it will make certain things tactically interesting, because now the roll-off will matter. In the past, it tended not to matter who chose to go first, because there's some advantage to placing your models first, in the sense that you get to you're more likely to be able to go first. But now it's 4 and 4. Be interested to see how that pans out. You do also get a bag of dice in there. So there's the standard attack dice, defense dice, and 3 magic dice. So the last thing in the box is a load of cards. They do come in cellophane. I've opened them up so I can go through them on separate videos. There will be a separate video. There'll be 3 separate videos, one for each warband and one for the universal card, so you can check those out. They'll be shorter, and that's everything you get in the box. Nothing, those are great surprises there. I'm just going to quickly have a talk about the primacy and the hunger tokens, but I will cover them in more depth. They're only in the universal card, so in my universal card video I will cover those in more depth. Okay then, the extra cards. This little thing that says extra cards on it. You probably can't see that because of the reflection of the light. I am going to go over these in more in depth. But there is the primacy card here, which is of interest to us. I will say another thing that of interest is that in these two things that are of interest on these extra cards is, one is that there's loads and loads of old Shadespire warband art in here. So Shadespire warbands are not being cycled out. This is a kind of a statement of intent, perhaps, from Games Workshop. There's loads of Shadespire art in here. Next thing is that there are no duplicates in here. So normally we get like 2 of everything, so you can make balanced decks with the Stu starter warbands. Maybe they decided people didn't really bother doing that, and maybe everybody's going to buy this, has already got a massive collection, doesn't care about that. Whatever reason, there are no duplicate cards in here, so everything is kind of like in the mainstream. There are amber bone equivalent weapons in this pack and interesting things like that, but we'll go over that in the other video. So the primacy card then, it says on it, you cannot include this card in your decks. If you include one or more cards in your decks that mention the primacy token, you must show this card to your opponent in the reveal your warband step and use these rules in the game. There is only one primacy token, so you can't both have a primacy token. There can be only one. The primacy card then says, when a player gains or is given the primacy token, they take the primacy token and place it with their fighter cards. If another player has the primacy token, when a player gains it, they take the token from that player. A player gains the primacy token after an activation, in which a friendly fighter's attack action targeted a fighter with no wound counters and took that fighter out of action. So it's an attack action targeted a fighter with no wound counters and took that fighter out of action. Or in which a friendly fighter's attack action took an enemy leader out of action, or in which their warband holds 4 or more objectives. If a player has the primacy token at the end of the round, they gain 1 spent glory point and then discard the primacy token. So basically it's a one-shot, 1 glory token, and I'm not sure on the face of it whether that is useful. I don't know. I feel like if you were holding an objective warband, you really wouldn't bother. I mean, who's going to try and hold 4 more objectives for 1 spent glory? If you're going to get supremacy or something like that, why bother with that? And the other one's a little boost for aggro. Maybe you're kind of getting a little unspent glory for something you're going to do anyway. I don't think it's going to shake up the game too much. I hadn't noticed that you discard the primacy token. So I don't know whether you can then gain it again later. That isn't clear. If a player has the primacy token at the end of the round, they gain 1 spec glory, they discard the primacy token. When a player gains or is given the primacy token, they take the primacy token and place it with their fighter card. Maybe you can regain it after it's been discarded. I guess you can. So, you know, it is possible you might get 2 or 3 glory through the game. And there are some cards that refer to the primacy token, as you would expect, because that's the only way you can include it in the game. So if none of you have primacy cards, then you won't be playing with the primacy token, so these rules won't be relevant. So there are 5 cards that have the primacy token mentioned in them. 2 of them are objectives, 2 of them are upgrades, and there is 1 ploy card. The objectives, Surge of Aggression and Awesome Predator. Basically, you can score this immediately after you gain the primacy token, or a friendly fighter successful attack action with a damage characteristic of 4. You can score Surge of Aggression, so you can score that even without the primacy token. It's a Surge hybrid, and the other one is Awesome Predator, which is also a hybrid but not a Surge, and you can score this in an end phase if you have the primacy token, or one of your survivor friendly fighters have 1 or more attack actions with a damage characteristic of 4+. So that's definitely scoreable, really, or you know, both of them are very scoreable, with or without the primacy token. And then the upgrades, we've got Master of Spoils. Gain the primacy token each time this fighter makes an attack action that takes an enemy fighter out of action. After this fighter is taken out of action, discard the primacy token. So it basically means you don't have to target a fighter with no wounds and take them out of action. You can just score it, but then they discard it if the token if you're killed in between. And then Fearsome Trappings makes you a hunter. This fighter is a hunter. In addition, if you have the primacy token, you can re-roll 1 attack dice in this fighter's attack rolls. So, you know, you can see that could be useful, but you're going to lose the primacy token at the end of the round. So it's like a re-roll, possibly maybe twice if you're lucky. So I'm not sure how useful that is. And then Thrill of the Hunt, which is a ploy. Play this after a friendly fighter's attack action that takes an enemy fighter out of action. You gain the primacy token. Then pick, heal 1 that fighter, or push that fighter 1 hex. It's a little extra boost if you do manage to take the primacy token by taking an enemy fighter out of action. So you know, they're not bad. I suspect as Direchasm unfolds, we will get more cards which interact with the primacy token, which make it more worth taking. We definitely found that with some of the mechanics in Beastgrave that they weren't worth taking at the beginning, but towards the end they were more worth taking. So that is the primacy tokens. Let's have a little look at the hunger. There's even less cards for this, I think. Oh no, I tell a lie, there's more cards. Let's have a little look at the hunter tokens then. So we've got they're keyworded with ferocious, interestingly. So you've got 3 ploys with ferocious on them, and one of you enables you to choose a fighter, and you roll a magic dice for each one of the fighter's wound counters, an additional magic dice if they have a hunger token, and then you can for every lightning you score, you can heal them 1. Ferocious lunge is a +1 move to the first friendly fighter to make a move action in the next activation, plus 2 move if they have 1 or more hunger counters. And Ferocious Blow is +1 damage if they +1 damage in the next activation, but also give them cleave if they have a hunger token. How do you gain a hunger token? That's a good question, and again I expect we'll see more cards like this arriving as the game goes on. We've got Hungry Advance. Choose 1 friendly fighter, push that fighter 1 hex towards the closest enemy fighter, then give the chosen fighter 1 hunger counter. And we've got Hungry Armor, which is give this fighter 1 hungry counter at the beginning of each round. If this fighter has 1 or more hunger counters, you can re-roll 1 defense dice in this fighter's defense roll. So it's a bit of a re-roll buff, and actually it's at the beginning of the round, so pretending when you put that on, that could be potentially really good. At the moment there doesn't seem to be any way of removing hunger tokens. There is a Hungry for Victory objective, which is score this in an end phase if 1 or more friendly fighters have 2 or more hunger counters. That could be big. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it really depends on how easy it's going to be to add hunger counters to your cards, to your fighters, and whether that's worth. It's only 1 glory, so it's never going to be brilliant. But you know, it could be a easy to score, reliable objective, which we all love in this game. So that's pretty much it. I don't think I've got anything else to add. I ought to probably just read my notes just to have a little look. yeah, that's it. That is Direchasm. That is the box. I say, do check out the other videos and looking at the other cards. Can't wait to play this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait to play this because Pete and I are looking like not being able to meet till after Christmas. Which, again, as I said at the top, is only a very small thing, but it's there. So we will try and get you a game of Direchasm as soon as we can. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon. Maybe you're still in the beast grave, or perhaps you're crawling into the Direchasm. Whatever you're doing, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you soon.